Ready? I'm here with Ponchatoula High head baseball coach Scott Tribble. Scott, first of all, congratulations on a fantastic season, district championship, and hopefully some more hardware to go along with that.
Yeah, I hope so. We, as of right now, we're playing, you know, playing pretty good, pitching it and catching it. We had our struggles early. We definitely did. It's been a growing experience. A lot of the guys that you see on the field are young guys, but by this time of year, they might have started out as freshmen or sophomores, but by now they're juniors and sophomores. So we're growing every day.
Well, that's what I was going to get into. You probably witnessed the evolution of this team. What has it taken to get your guys to where they are right now, playing at such a high level?
To fail. And to fail, and then to be mature enough and man enough to admit your mistakes and go out there and accept the criticism and accept the push and the drive that your coaches, and just realizing that, we're striving for excellence, and we're going to go after it every day. We're going to push forward in every aspect, and when you don't succeed that, then you better be ready to get pushed, because we're going to push them, and they've responded to an extent to that. So the answer would be failure. We preach every day. We love to make mistakes, because a mistake is only a mistake unless you don't learn from it. And when you learn from a mistake, that makes you better. And we've made our share of them, so we're obviously getting better. So
So you're either winning or you're learning.
either way,
No
either
losing.
way. Now that's hard with young guys to get them to understand that, but they're buying in a little bit.
Now, well, you had your game against Hammond, your arch rival at Reimers the other night. A little closer than you would have liked. Hammond's a little scrappy team. What's your outtake on them coming into tonight's game?
All I know is when you play Hammond at the end of the year is, and I'm not from this area. I'm originally from Florida, but when you play your rival the last game of the season, you're going to get their best effort, and you're going to get all the drive they got and all the desire to win that they have, and that's always going to make for a good game. We did feel kind of good going into it with Polk on the mound and the way that our offense has been swinging the bats, but I mean, tip your hat to Trahan. He filled up the zone and pressured us, and we made a few base running mistakes and a few blunders, and next thing you know, it's a tight game. But hey, it's what we expected, and we know we're gonna get a better effort than that from them tomorrow night. So and I love it, because that's the challenge that we need to face. Because fortunately for us, we get to go try and see if we can do it in a playoff atmosphere. So I think it's a great experience for our guys, and Hammond is always going to compete. And if you notice, you look back at their schedule, they're the games that they lost. They only lost by 1 or 2, 3-1, 4-2. They didn't have a whole bunch of games that they weren't in, and that kind of team's going to give you a fight. And
Yeah, I think one of their biggest problems was lack of consistency.
yeah,
But I would assume what you just told us is basically your message to your kids going into tonight's game and then heading into the playoffs.
yeah. Well, the message to the kids is the same as that it's been from the beginning. When we have a little saying that we don't pay attention too much to the past, and we don't focus too much to the future. We just stay on the present. And I think at the beginning of the year, there was a lot of guys and a lot of us that just didn't really buy into that. Now when we talk about present, we're talking about the next pitch. If we can win more pitches than Hammond tomorrow night, chances are we win the game. And that's the present moment, and that's the definition of mental toughness. And you ask every baseball coach, what do you want from your players? I want them to be mentally tough.
And
And
see, I saw that in the game Tuesday night. You're up 1-0. Hammond puts a little rally together. They tie the game. And I said, all right, well, let's see how Ponchatoula responds here. And they did. Due to some stellar defensive play and timely hitting, especially the hit by Whitaker.
oh yeah, well when you're in the top of our order now, Whitaker would tell you he's probably not swinging it to the best of his ability, but just his ability to get on base and perform. But to have those guys, we were blessed to be at that part of the order. And tribute to, you look at that, there was 2 outs, nobody on base, and our 9-hole hitter in Petit comes up to the plate. He's down in the count. You know, it's 1-2 if I'm not mistaken, and he gets an inside pitch and turns his shoulder, and boom, it hits him on the back. He gets there. Next thing you know, we were able to score. So, just
And I think that's part of that mental toughness you were talking about.
good teams with 2 outs. You know, good teams perform with 2 outs.
Back against the wall.
You know, back against the wall. Going back to the St. Paul's game, we scored 5 runs with 2 outs and nobody on base. It's your job's to get to first. When you get to first, then it's the next man's job. And as long as we keep, pushing and extending the inning and getting the next man to the plate mentality, I ain't got to hit a double in the gap. I don't have to hit a home run. I don't have to win the game. I got to get to first. And when we start buying into that, then we're good.
And I'm sure a lot of that is what's helped you is senior leadership. You got 6 graduating seniors on this team. Elaborate
right.
a little bit about each of your
That's
seniors.
right. Just if you could say one thing about them, they now this is my 3rd year, so they had 1 year without me, but this is my 3rd year with them, and it wasn't easy to ride that ride. My first 3 years here hasn't been, it's a transition, it's a switch, it's a change of culture, it's a change of mindset, and but these 6 guys have stuck it out, all the way. Now, one of them being Polk, he's the guy on the mound that he proved to us that we could win with him. So
He's a heck
we've
of a
been
player.
blessed there.
I know his
you
daddy
could
Laramie real
that's
well.
That's right. You could go down the line with Cole Landry, who's obviously moved from third to short. We could play him back here if we needed to. We can play him at second. We could play him anywhere on the field. Just utility guys through there. Elijah Winters has never played a baseball season for me. His first year we got cut short, and we were 9-4 and lost that year to COVID. The next year he tore his labrum. Then he thought about leaving early and going to McNeese and enrolling early, and decided to come back. And I said, I'm glad. I want to see you play baseball for a year. And he's really turning it on. And then Petit and Lane Martin and Cody Crawford, just they could play first, they could play left, they could play utility guys that give you everything they got.
Luxury to have kids like that. And
When
Winters had
6
a
of
nice hit the other night when y'all were scoring those 3 runs that y'all did get across. Coach, in that game, you saw one of Hammond's stars, Connor Graham, ended up with a lacerated hand.
Yeah,
Cut his hand pretty bad. I know you're no stranger to injury. Your
that's
own
right.
son
When
had
I
a
saw
issue.
him walk off for first base and he had blood on his hand, it reminded me exactly of what happened out here with our shortstop and one of our players, and my son. But we were blessed. It could have been a lot worse. Nolan's hand is stitched up. He's receiving a treatment that was provided through our trainer with a red light therapy that's supposed to enhance the healing. He thinks he's going to be ready to play sooner than he probably is. But when I saw Connor, it just brought back that memory to me. I've had the luxury and the blessing of coaching Connor throughout his younger days, so he's kind of like family, so I guess you could say, to me a
Sure.
little bit. But good thing about Connor was it wasn't on those 2 ball gripping fingers, and it's on the top. And I did learn that most of your motion and most of your sensitivity and those tendons and those things are at the bottom of the fingers. So, that was a blessing.
Yeah, for both
I know it
kids.
stinks for Hammond and Mike and Connor and his team, but it also stinks for us. But we're dealing with it. I can't complain about where we are right now since he's been out. So
We hope for a speedy recovery for both of those young men. I know you could surely use Nolan in the playoff run, but your team seems to have responded without him here. They won 3 games without him.
absolutely, that's like I said. I can't complain about what's happened since he's been gone. We have responded. More important, we've responded offensively. Nolan was an RBI guy for us batting in the 4 hole, but the day after he got hurt, is when we just had an offensive explosion against St. Paul's. That I mean, I've been around baseball for a while, and you know, just to see, and it wasn't bad pitching; it was quality pitching, but it just tells you a little bit about these guys, you know, and how they want to respond, and they'll do whatever it takes, and hopefully we can ride that and see how far that gets us.
We spoke to Coach Rutland about the challenges after Hurricane Ida. Of course, Hammond High lost their fence for the second time, but they got it back put together.
Yeah.
Athletic Park, however, didn't come out as well, and it kind of displaced y'all for a year.
It did. Everywhere we go, we see damage from Hurricane Ida, and everywhere we go, we see repairs. 95% of the time, the repairs are better than where they started. We're just sitting here hoping that we're going to see something. You know, we want to see something. I know it's a process, especially because FEMA's involved and the city, and it's not a school thing. You know, the city of Hammond owns that park. The school system leases it from them. The field itself is in great shape. All of our tools and all of our equipment is in great shape, but it's obviously a hazard.
I think it was very cool that Mayor Pete Penapenta and Hammond reached out to our brothers from south at I-12 to give them a place to play.
Unbelievable. I will say, I think my athletic director and we reached out, my booster, we reached out to them, and fortunately for us, Desiree, she graduated from Ponchatoula, and she works, and she's the one that takes care and runs all that for us. But they've just been awesome.
Another testament to it's bigger than the game.
That's right. And that field, you know, when you go to it, it might not look great or nothing, but I tell you what, that field's played well for us. You know,
I grew up on that field, Coach.
It's done good things for us.
I played Hammond Rec growing up and spent a lot of hours on that field. That's holy ground for me.
There you go.
So I love watching baseball.
Well, it's kind of weird seeing green and white and Ponchatoula colors on it then, but the Booster Club and just the city of Hammond's been awesome as far as letting us put up our signs, so we didn't miss that. You know, that's a big fundraising. It costs a lot of money to, you know, put these guys in the places that we put them.
But one thing I know you have in Ponchatoula is you have support.
Very blessed, you know, not just with the school itself, but with the community and the Booster Club, and the people that are in that Booster Club are just, you know, they care about these kids, and it shows. It's awesome. That's right.
Well, Coach, we wish you and your guys the best of luck. We hope Nolan gets a speedy recovery with that hand. And we will be pulling for you in the playoffs.
Good deal. So we'll see each other tomorrow night at the game.
Yes, sir. Right? Yes, sir.
Well, good deal. Thank y'all very much for coming, and appreciate y'all looking after our guys. Thank you.